At the start of The Dragon Prince, Callum's mind is drawn to one and only one person, Claudia. He's in love with her, and although in his adolescent innocence he believes he is being subtle, this is definitely not the case. It is an awkward, obvious, adolescent crush, but he believes it will last. He believes the two of them will be together, and if that does not happen, it will be because he wasn't enough. Smart enough, strong enough, determined enough. He has an inferiority complex. He yearns to prove himself not only to himself, but also to those whose opinion of him he values. He wants to impress people. Platonically, this means his stepfather, King Harrow, but romantically, this means Claudia. But that changes. I've chronicled Claudia's descent into darkness in other videos, so that is not going to be the focus of this video. This is not to imply that her descent into darkness is not important, it certainly is. It's critical not only to the main narrative of the Dragon Prince, but also to the smaller scale, more intimate narrative of how he will interact with Claudia going forward. Callum does not have a lot of interactions with Claudia in Season 3, and this was a major disappointment for me, as the two of them are headed in vastly different directions, and this could have been mined for affecting drama. But Callum moving away from Claudia would have happened even if Claudia had remained the exact same person she is at the start of the series. In fact, it would have happened even if Claudia had become a significantly better person. I don't want to necessarily call this an inevitable process, as to do so would be to deny our beautiful young lovers Callum and Rayla agency. So suffice it to say that the path Callum took by leaving home and going on this grand journey into the unknown is also the path that led him to becoming closer to Rayla. What is Callum's journey about? Inwardly speaking, I mean. Obviously, his external objective is to return Zim to Xadia, and after he completes this objective, his grander objective is to make peace between the humans and the elves. But inwardly speaking, his journey is one of understanding and accepting himself. At the start of the series, he desperately seeks validation. Claudia, at least on a superficial level, seems to have what Callum yearns for: stability and acceptance. I doubt this is why he is consciously drawn to her at first, but it certainly applies subconsciously. To someone like him, someone so awkward and unfocused and confused, making this beautiful, confident, zany, gothic teenager fall in love with him probably sounds like a grand accomplishment. But as the series progresses, he increasingly does not feel that same need for validation. Instead, as his trials become increasingly alarming, he yearns instead for connection. Someone with whom he can share his triumphs and his tragedies. Someone he can truly understand, and someone who can truly understand him. This is why he enters into a relationship with Rayla. What is important to note about this relationship is that it was not instantaneous. It was not like Callum fell in love with her when first he laid eyes on her. In fact, his first reaction when they interacted was terror. Admittedly, this was a completely reasonable interaction, considering that she was preparing to kill him, but it is nonetheless an inauspicious place for a relationship to start. While Rayla did not hate humans as much as some of the elves did, and indeed she fell into trouble with Runan and his band because she was reluctant to perform an assassination, it's fair to say that she did not have the highest opinion of humans. She certainly didn't have the highest opinion of Callum at first. In Season 1 especially, you can feel the condescension dripping from her in almost every interaction. But eventually, she starts to see him not as some random human dork with no skills or talents or abilities, but rather as someone worth caring about, someone worth taking seriously. This is in part because she discovers that Callum has the ability to perform magic, but it is not just that, not even close. It's that she changes the way she sees him, and he changes the way she's able to see herself. She sees how he cares about her. He does not condescend to her. He does not patronize her. He does not just get close to her in order to get something from her. He really honestly cares. She initially has no idea how to respond to him, but as the relationship progresses, she grows to value the little quirks and eccentricities she had previously viewed as weaknesses. As to why he comes to care about her romantically, there are several different factors. The most obvious, of course, is that Rayla is stunning. I don't just mean physically, although yes, if you had told Callum at the start of his journey that he would have fallen in love with an elf and thought an elf was so beautiful, he would have called you crazy. What I mean is that she is an exciting person to be around. She is more athletic than he would ever be in his wildest dreams, and she's energetic and willful. Though she does not always know what she wants, she always tries to navigate the world, and she always tries to figure out what she wants, and she at least tries to be honest with herself. One could say a lot of these same things about his first crush, Claudia, but the main difference between his relationship with Claudia and his relationship with Rayla is that he actually gets to understand Rayla as a person. He is not blinded by the superficialities of dating and attraction. He sees the similarities between them. This is not to say that they are literally the same person, but rather that even though their contexts shape them into the people they are, the core experiences they have endured are very similar in a lot of ways. They're both loners, they're both outsiders, they're both longing for that connection. They both believe at the start of the series that no one, or at least no one living, can truly understand the troubles beguiling them. They're not morose about it, they're not full of angst, rather they have accepted it, which honestly might even be more depressing. They've constructed their worldviews around this belief that they will have to try to fit in if they will ever be accepted. They will have to try and cram all their individualities into these preordained, pre-created molds. Thus, they're cut off from each other, and they're cut off from themselves as well. But they are there to help each other out. Rayla does not save Callum, nor does he want her to. Rather, Rayla allows Callum to realize that, number one, he has someone to talk with about the difficulties and challenges he has faced, and number two, he can survive and even thrive outside the mold he had been trying to fit himself into. Looking back at their relationship from where it is now, I would argue that it is actually a positive that they did not fall in love with each other as soon as they met. If they had, they might have tried harder to cover up their true natures in order to project a facade they believed was necessary in order for the world to accept them. Instead, they revealed to each other their true, honest, non-artificial selves. They never really intended to fall in love with each other. It just gradually happened, and in Callum's case, he never really realized it until Rayla acted on her own feelings toward him. They started as friends, and they did not withhold from the other who they were. They revealed their true selves, and they grew to care about each other. They grew to care about those true selves. Rayla helped him grow. She helped him find himself. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince. It is a brilliant, thoughtful, artful show, and it is only getting better with time. I can't wait to see what they do with it in Season 4, and I especially can't wait to see what they do with this relationship. It's going to be truly beautiful. Anyway, anyhow, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.